This is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm dealing with time wasters out of a life of a young man, and I want you to deal with time wasters once and for all as a young man in your life. There are few time wasters in your life that you might have embraced and walking along with them, and not dealing with them and not kicking them as habits out of your life, and you've wasted quite a lot of your time. And I want to urge you as a young man that if you've wasted a lot of your time, start identifying those time wasters and kick them out of your life. One of those time wasters in your life right now that you need to kick out of your life is trying to do everything perfectly. And I want you to understand that nobody is perfect in this world, and you can never be perfect either. So don't be perfectionist, because a perfectionist will forever dwell on one thing repeatedly and never finish. We have seen perfectionists failing exams because they are dwelling on a question that they don't know, a question that they struggle to comprehend, a question that they struggle to remember, but yet they're dwelling on it because they don't want to leave a space on that question paper. Please, while you are writing exams, some of you are in matric, some of you are in different classes. As young men right now, I want you to take care of this, that please don't be a perfectionist. If you don't know an answer, pass. Go to the next question and make sure that you write the questions that you know. Answer them, then later you will come back and back on those questions that you didn't comprehend, and maybe you will remember those. After you've written those that you know, the answers that you know, and that will make you successful. Now, time wasting is when you are trying to do everything perfectly. Everything that you do, you want it to be perfect, and as you want it to be perfect, it slows your progress. You cannot go on like that because that's a time waster of note. And many of the young men have dwelt in one thing, one way or another, and they've never moved an inch because they want to be perfect in what they do. And I'm saying we are living in a world that is not perfect. And we as individuals as well, we are fallible as individuals. We are mortal beings that are fallible. We cannot be perfect, and therefore is God who is actually dealing with us in our imperfections. So please move on when you are not perfect. And because also people that want to be perfect, when they've done mistakes, they actually chop themselves off. They destroy their own selves because they feel like they are the biggest sinners ever on the face of the earth. And they feel like they're worse than everybody. As a young man listening to me, you might have done a mistake in your life. And I want to say to you, rise up from that mistake, move on. Don't ever think that you're perfect, because no one is perfect anyway. So move on from that mistake, rise up from where you've fallen, and please don't lie there. It is actually stupidity for one to fall on the ground while you're walking. You trip and fall and lie on that floor forever. We have seen people that lie on the same mistake forever, and they don't want to rise up because they want to be perfect. Now, if you lie at the same place where you've tripped and fallen, rain comes, scorchy sun comes, winds comes, storms come, and find you at the same place where you've fallen yesterday. And when people ask you, why are you here since I've fallen yesterday? Next week, you're still on the same place. And people come and say, what has happened to you since I've fallen last week on here? And people will be surprised. Why are you not rising up as a young man? I'm saying this because when you are trying to be perfect with everything, you are going to lie on the same spot and discourage yourself even to rise up. Because when you're supposed to rise up, you will always tell yourself, but I'm going to fall again. And I want to urge you as a young man to be able not to think that you are going to be perfect in everything. Don't be obsessed about perfection. Do things that you can, and those mistakes along the way, but continue doing. And we have seen people that are singing and you go on Discord for a moment. And I'm urging you that if you're a singer, continue singing even when you've gone on Discord for a moment, because people may not even know the song that you're singing. They may think that the very same Discord is the way you're supposed to sing. And people that are not that know that they are not perfect, that are not perfectionists, they will move on and they will be successful in life because they don't want to dwell on a time waster called perfection. And I want you to be aware of that as a young man. The second time waster in your life that you must be careful of as a young man is fear of failure. Because many of you as young men, you're folding your arms because you failed yesterday. You think, now I'm going to fail again. And you don't want to try anything anymore in life because you failed in the past. Listen, failure is not permanent. And I want you to realize that as a young man, that you will fail, but failure is not permanent. That you'll fail, but failure is not your name. So you are not a failure yourself. You might have failed in some of the things that you've done. I'm encouraging young men right now, some of you who have just written your matric exams. You might have not written well this time around. You might actually going to get results in January that you failed. But I want to tell you now that even if you fail, don't be despondent. Rise up out of that failure because you will succeed. So don't be afraid to enroll again and go and write another matric next year because you're fearing to fail. Because people that fear to fail cannot progress at all because they're forever seeing themselves failing and never see themselves succeeding. And I want to tell you now that you cannot fail forever. Many that have done big projects, they failed first, but because they don't fail, they don't fear to fail, they continue trying. And as they continue trying, they succeed at some stage and they finalize things that they've been dreaming to do. I've heard the story about somebody who invented electricity, that this chap failed about 2,000 times, but he said to himself, I am not a failure. He said to himself, I didn't fail. I've discovered 2,000 methods that would not generate electricity. So in other words, I've learned from my mistakes and I'm not afraid to try other things because I will not fail again. Now, I want to urge you as a young man that fear of failure is a time waster. Most of the people are fearing to fail and they don't start projects because they're fearing to fail. And they don't start anything because they're fearing to fail. So please start. If you fail, continue. And you will succeed one day. And you cannot fail forever. And I want to urge you as a young man that don't fear failure at all. Another time waster in our lives is not living your life. Not living your life is somebody who are reservedly living other people's lives. People that want to copy from other people, imitate other people, and not live their own life. I want to make you aware as a young man that you are not a replica of anyone. I've said in the beginning that you are unique by your own. God has created you unique. And you have showed up on the face of the earth for a purpose because you are needed in this earth. You are important in this earth. God has got a purpose and there's something that you need to fulfill in this earth. So therefore, not living your life, you're denying the world of yourself. You're denying the world of your talents. You're denying the world of your expertise that God wanted you to deliver in this world. And I want you not to deny us of the opportunity of gaining from what God has assigned you to do. So please live your life. Now, not living your life and living somebody's life, you are actually duplicating things that are not supposed to be duplicated. You are becoming somebody that we don't need because the real person that God has assigned to do that which you are imitating is there and it's the original. Don't render yourself fake as an individual. And as a young man, when you are following somebody's life and you become that type of a person by imitating them, is time wasting. Because remember, you will not achieve your dreams by imitating someone else. Because that someone else's path is not going to take you to the destination of fulfilling your dreams. Be careful of not living your life. As a young man, rise up to the calling that God has called you to do and live your life. Now, don't reserve anything because God wants you to live your life so that you can fulfill the purpose that He has brought you for. And I believe as a young man, you'll identify who you are. You'll find your pathway. You'll find your track of your race and run your race on your own track and with the expertise that God has given you. live your life from now on as a young man. I'm checking out right here, but before I check out, I want you to be aware of our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please like those pages, follow them, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum. Make sure that you click notification button after subscribing so that you are being notified when we post materials of this kind. And I believe strongly that you will gain a lot out of this. You will learn, and the good Lord will bless you. And allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.